Welcome to the Guide episode 2. This episode will be about things born out of necessity, and we'll circle around what the guide has to say about the Jatravartids of Viltvodle VI. It says here that many races believe that the universe was created by some sort of god, though the Jatravartid people of Viltvodle VI believe that the universe was in fact sneezed out of the nose of a being called the Great Green Archcaesar. The Jatravartids, who live in perpetual fear of the time they call the coming of the Great White Handkerchief, are small blue creatures more than 50 feet arms each, who are therefore unique in being the only race in history to have invented the aerosol deodorant before the wheel. In my opinion, this shows what happens when something is really, really necessary. If they have more than 50 arms each, then they have 50 armpits each, and that is just going to cause a buildup of body odor. But I do think it is going to be very unlikely that a species will have the technology to create an aerosol deodorant can before they create the wheel. So apparently it must be very necessary, and for the humans, something that we think was necessary was digital watches. And as the guide will say, the humans are a race of creatures so primitive they still think that digital watches are a pretty neat idea. We think they're necessary, we think we need them, but we really don't. If we have the energy to look down at our wrists to check the time, we'd probably have the energy to look up at the wall to check the time. I don't even own a digital watch. I have a cell phone that shows me what time it is. But I'm pretty sure that if Douglas Adams lived in about 20 years, he would say that we're so amazingly primitive that we still think cellular phones are still a pretty neat idea. Although they have been around for a while, but they were nowhere near around the time when he wrote this. I can't recall exactly because I'm a little sleepy. But they've been around for about almost 20 years. But they did kind of suck back then. Big and brick-shaped. But getting back to the point, when something is necessary, it'll come fast. It'll be made really quickly if it is very, very necessary. And for the Jatravartid people of Viltvodle VI, they had 50 arms, and they made deodorant. Again, and going back to the great green Archcaesar and the Great White Handkerchief. It's their own incarnation of God. I don't want to go back to the first episode and explain what I think about different variations of God, but it is their variant of God, their own deity. That is just something that they needed so that they could explain it. As I'm thinking about what I should say, I kind of noticed that I'm not mentioning any of the characters. I'm pretty sure I haven't mentioned Viltvodle at all. I don't think so. No, I didn't. I have not mentioned anybody. Viltvodle, as mentioned in the movie, he explains that he got the second head because he said, you can't be president of the galaxy with the whole brain, and I'm pretty sure that this came about because Hamakavula from Viltvodle VI told him that anybody with half a brain could be president of the galaxy, and Viltvodle, already being an idiot with an entire brain, cut his brain into two pieces and made a second head. However, in the book he said in the book what happened is he blocked off part of his brain. But this was completely unnecessary. He doesn't know why, but he does know who. He does know why. I'm sorry, I said he doesn't know why. He just doesn't know what was blocked off. And then stuff happened. Stuff always happens. You need stuff to happen. And when you need something, it happens. And then that stuff happens. That was just off the top of my head. Which reminds me of this from the introduction to Mostly Harmless. Anything that happens, happens. Anything that isn't happening causes something else to happen, causes something else to happen. Anything that ain't happening causes itself to happen again, happens again. It doesn't necessarily do that in that order, though. Which is just makes very little sense and is a contradiction that leads to a paradox. And I might be crazy, but I don't feel like I do not have the time to run through the book again to find out. But I think that Douglas Adams has mentioned that paradoxes should just be ignored or don't really affect what happened. I forget how it goes, but wait, yes, I remember now. A time paradox can happen at any time and come in the shape of anything. And in, I think it was So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, or Life, the Universe, and Everything, whichever one. I think it might have been Life, the Universe, and Everything, when Ford Prefect and Arthur Dent were back in prehistoric Earth, they saw a couch in the middle of a field, which was a time paradox. Not exactly those words specifically, but they ran up to it and grabbed it, sat on it, and then they were on Earth 15 minutes before it was destroyed by the Vogons, which I believe is going to... this is just going to lead off to my next video, but time travel makes everything a lot easier. I will get to it next time. I know I didn't make it... None of this made any sense. It doesn't make sense to me either, so don't worry. You're not alone. Until next time, see you later. Well, not really see you.